West Coast, East Coast, whatever it is that you want. Even with the whole OKC thing, which we talked about last week. So there will be news there as well. So we talked about D Wade. D Wade now, basically what we thought he would be. He is what we thought he would be. He's a Cleveland Cavalier. And he adds depth to this team, of course. He is a champion, so the brother knows how to win. But with the addition of D Wade, does it complicate, what people's roles will be? Will D Wade have the same role that like he had in Miami? I don't think so. D Wade is not the same D Wade that he was, in Miami. He knows that. Everyone knows that. The brother's almost 36, so you can't expect him to be that type of person. But when I look at this roster for Cleveland, when they add D Wade, there's a lot of people on this roster. And I look at it as a team with question marks. And what I mean by that when I say question marks is that let me go through some of the people that is on this team. You got, of course, the people we already know. But people that you may not know is on this team. They acquired Jose Calderon. They wanted some depth. Obviously, I guess Darren Williams either didn't want to come back or they didn't want Darren Williams. I don't know what that is. But Jose Calderon is on the team instead of Darren Williams now. Kay Felder, this was their rookie from last year. So they kept him. And some of these people are going to get cut. You know what I'm getting at. So I'm not going to mention them. But Richard Jefferson is on his team. Kyle Korver is on his team. Derrick Rose, Mon Shumpert, J.R. Smith, and IT. He is on this team. And, of course, with D. Wade. Those are your guards. You're deep at that. But D. Wade, like I said, he's almost 36. What did he still got? Isaiah's not going to be back until January. How will he be when he gets back? J.R. Smith, he is what he is. He's streaky sometimes. But when he's on, he's on. And J.R. has been a model citizen. So it's not like you got a problem with him, off the court or with coaches, for that fact. Mon Shumpert. D Rose, we already know D Rose is a dunk away, from injuring himself again. He had a really good year last year in New York. You're not gonna get that MVP Derrick Rose back. It's just not gonna happen. Those knee injuries won't allow you to. Kyle Korver, where's his spot now? Richard Jefferson, he's like 40, at this point. Jay Crowder, I think he's going to get a lot of playing time, and some guys are going to be sitting on the bench. Channing Frye is on his team. Jeff Green is on his team, and of course with the regular Tristan, LeBron, and Kevin Love. So there's a lot of questions to this team. One, can the people that they just acquired come in and do the job that the team needs them to do? Two, how much better did Boston get? Did they get better than what your better is? Because although Cleveland beat them 4-1, I got to tell you, it's something about you getting that experience and you learning from your mistakes and then you come in the second year. Plus, they got Gordon Hayward. That's not just a little tick up. That's a big step. And you still got Kyrie, who knows a little bit about those guys. And he kind of knows some of their weaknesses. You got to take that into account. Can Cleveland run through the East again? I know people are like the East, that there's nobody in the East. It's still hard. The team is trying to get to their fourth finals. LeBron's trying to get to his 8th straight final. And last but not least, how long can LeBron be Superman? He takes very, very good care of his body. But eventually, time catches up. Is this the moment? I don't know. I will hope not. But it's something that you got to think about, with this team. What happens when they, maybe go through a bump in the road? You got a new general manager. How is he going to handle that? There's a lot of egos on this team. Don't get that twisted. But Mac Farrell said, he was talking to Don, don't forget the Washington Wizards. Washington is going to give people some problems as well. I don't know if they just ready just yet, Mac, but they will give people some problems. Mocha said, Lopan, I'm coming to see you tomorrow. Indeed. Lopan, you down for that? Indeed. Okay. Look, I'm going to tell you right now. Mocha, let me tell you something right now. That phone number I put out to you, that's my number. That's not Lopan number. So do me a favor. Do not send any photos to that phone. Send it to Lopan's phone. Indeed. Yes. Send it to his phone. Do not send that to my phone. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see what y'all doing. I don't want to see what y'all involved in. That number I put out, that was my number. Just remember that. All right. So D-Wade to the Cavs, $15 million was his buyout, so he's still winning. He signed a 1-year, $2.3 million deal to get with the Cavs. I do like, their chances. They if everyone pans out, they're stacked. I don't know if they're stacked enough to handle, some of the teams in the West. But October 17th, when game 1 against the Boston Celtics go down, we'll be watching. I'll be watching, and we'll be talking about that. So we're going to stay in this NBA, and we're going to get into it real quick. Like I said, the season hasn't even started yet, but I just want to throw some fillers out there and see what everyone is thinking. If they got some opinions or not, you might be still stuck in football and all that stuff, but you got to change it. You got to multitask, with it. Basketball is about to go down, so I wanted to give my top 8. And I'm going to start with the Western Conference. Next week, we'll do the Eastern Conference. So we'll get into this real quick. Top 8. This is who I got basically making the playoffs for the NBA for the 2017-2018 NBA regular season. So, of course, we changed some of the rules. No, not as many back-to-backs. No more, 4 games in 5 days, and all that stuff. So now they have made it a little bit more player-friendly, if you will. So here's my top 8. Now, 8 was pretty hard for me. 8 was, and Mac, I see you. 8, I got the Clippers. Y'all know how I feel about the Clippers. I had them about a couple years ago, said they would finish first in the NBA, in the Western Conference. They totally blew that. I jumped off that bandwagon, and I can't stand the LA Clippers. But they still got some guys, but it's going to be very interesting to see how DeAndre Jordan works without Chris Paul. It seems like that combination works very well together, and I don't know if he can have that type of relationship with Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley is not Chris Paul. That's not in his game. It's not that same style as Chris Paul. So I got them at 8. And that could change, though. I mean, I could see someone else slipping in there, like a Denver or something like that. But I got them at 8 right now. Number 7, I'm going to go with the Pelicans. I know that kind of surprised you, but I think they get this thing together with Anthony Davis and Boogie Cousins, and they make some noise to get to the playoffs. And it's time. They got to do it now. JY3 says Phoenix might get that 8 spot. Phoenix got a lot of young talent, so you're absolutely right, JY3. They could get in there. Mr. Booker, no joke. The man can ball. So that's why I said I'm not 100% sold on the Clippers being in that 8th spot. But number 7, I got the Pelicans. I really, really, really do think Boogie and Anthony gets it together, and they work well together. Side note, Mac Farrell said that the Cavs will make a move at the trade deadline. Yeah, they probably will. That's what they always do. And he wanted to know who are the contenders for Rookie of the Year. Now, we'll get into that another episode, Mac. So I would definitely, do a piece on that in one of the future episodes. But I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to need to talk about that because because rookie's going to play a major part in how this NBA season plays out and the playoffs seedings as well. So number 6, I got Portland. You can't go wrong with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. These two guys together are scoring machines. They had some injuries, on their team, so they are trying to get those guys healthy to get through, the entire season. But they just don't have enough firepower on their team. Damian Lillard tried to recruit everybody, so I got to give him credit. He tried to get everybody. He tried to get Melo, everybody, Jimmy Butler, whoever was a possibility, Paul George, and it just could not get these guys, there. So, but they will compete. They will be in the mix, on it. So I got them at number 6. Mocha Bella said the Pelicans ain't going nowhere. Well, Mocha Bella, we shall see, Number 5, I'm going to go with OKC on this one. Yeah, they're going to jump up a little bit. It could be more, but I still think with the moves that other teams made, it's still a move in the right direction. With Melo, with Paul George, now, Westbrook got that help. But Ruff Buff, a.k.a. Fuqua Shabazz, had said, about sharing the ball, basically. Russ is ball dominant. Carmelo is ball dominant. Yeah, Paul is not as much, but he wants the rock as well. So they're going to have to work that out. But having those 3 is better than just Russ being, by himself. And I see them making an improvement, and they'll get some guys like they got Trey Burke to back up Russ. So I think that will work out, for them. They're going to need to add a few more pieces. Steven Adams is a good piece that they got. Still up and coming, should be better. They lost Enes Kanter, which was helping them with scoring. He was a little bit of a liability on defense. But with this team, what Russ did by himself, I can't say he's not going to repeat that, from last year, especially with 2 other guys on the team. But with what he did by himself, you have to get better by adding 2 pieces, not just 1, 2 pieces, on this. And I ain't talking about chicken. Number 4 in the Western Conference, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I told y'all before, and I'm going to tell y'all again, get ready, because Minnesota, I got them for 50 wins. Book it! I got them number 4. They're going to be some little bumps in the road and all that stuff. They're going to be learning to play with each other. But, the moves that they made, they're going to make Wiggins happy. They're going to give him that extension. So Wiggins, you got Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, Jeff Teague. You got a lot of guys that are able to make a very, very, very convincing impact. They could give other teams a run for their money. They are to me, Minnesota is going to be the scariest team in the NBA. Definitely in the West, but in the NBA. No one is going to want to see Minnesota. But they're still young and they're still getting it together. So I've got them at 4. Number 3, San Antonio. San Antonio, they're the constant. They're always over 50 wins. They got Popovich. They always figure out how to improve themselves or keep the train rolling. Nothing has changed with that. They will play with their boring style that people say, that they have, but it works. These guys have been in the playoffs, I think, ever since I was in high school or something like that. So I think the last time they went in the playoffs was when they got Tim Duncan, so they will be there like they always will, always are. I just think with the playoffs, as things change, what happens with that. But you got Kawhi Leonard, so you definitely got a shot there. Number 2, I got the Houston Rockets. They were already 3rd in the West. You add Chris Paul, you can't help but get better. It takes some of that pressure off of James Harden. We saw what that did to him, where he disappeared in the playoffs, where they needed him and he needed some help. That's obvious. He's not going to be able to do it by himself. So with Chris, that's going to help out. And I told y'all, Capella. Remember this guy, Capella. He will be probably, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. He will be most improved,